So the first point is the proposed unitary authority is based on failed examples of local government which have lost vital services and democratic accountability. SSDC cannot support a risky experiment to suffer a similar fate. Currently, residents, businesses and communities are supported by high-performing districts that have demonstrated sound financial management and digital transformation and have a mandate to deliver valuable discretionary services such as town centre regeneration, theatres and swimming pools. The county administration has focused on tax cuts, not needs, reducing budgets to the point of service failure. Examples: transport, social care, special educational needs and disabilities, and abandoning other service areas, relying on others to fund them, such as youth services. This business case extends that approach over key services delivered by districts which are valued by businesses and residents. Next point. The One Somerset business case relies on evidence from other single county unitaries, including neighbouring Wiltshire and recent unitaries where it is too early to measure success. Wiltshire is reported to be on the verge of issuing a Section 114 bankruptcy notice. Wiltshire's local council networks or area boards have been a conspicuous failure with little funding, autonomy and officer resource, and very limited devolution to parish and town councils. Local council networks on this model will in no measure replace the quality of service of the district councils. Dorset has failed to devolve services to parishes, and a period of paralysis has followed the implementation in the aftermath of Brexit and COVID-19. Next point. Alternative options to the single unitary are given only superficial analysis. Next point. The business case fails to recognise the transformation necessary in the delivery of social care. The next major point is a single Somerset unitary is too big for effective local democracy in Somerset and will lead to a substantial democratic deficit. The first sub-point on that is, if two tiers of local government are to be reduced to one tier, it makes no sense for the new tier to be at the level of one of the previous tiers. Next, the government's aspirations for devolved authorities are based on local enterprise partnership areas. In our case, that's Somerset combined with Devon. A unitary for the whole of Somerset would be too close in size to a future combined authority of just Somerset and Devon. Next point. A unitary for Somerset would be too remote from local communities, residents, and about up to 300 parish and town councils. Next point. The average size of the 20 existing rural unitary authorities in England is around 300,000. A single unitary for Somerset would serve a population, I believe, of about 560,000 and would nearly be the biggest unitary population in the country and spread over a great geographical area. Next, single unitaries are not necessarily the norm, especially if an authority borders on differing authorities. Evidence is Cornwall, which is the only single unitary in the southwest and borders only Devon. The Somerset County Council administrative area borders Dorset, Wiltshire, the other two unitaries in Somerset, and two tiers in Devon. Next, under the business case, each council will be expected to take on 8 times the work of an existing councillor over a wider area and on a much broader range of responsibilities. The loser in this democratic deficit will be the communities and the residents. The SSDC model is a recognised national leader in involving communities, as evidenced by being awarded Council of the Year and 3 Beacon Awards for this work. The key element of the model is the area committees. One of the government's tests is a strong level of public support. The business case's exaggerated claims on this are wrong, not only because the business case has only just been published, but because the last time a single unitary was suggested, it was rejected by about 82% of the population, as was mentioned by the public speaker. Thirdly, the financial arguments in the business case appear to be inadequate and flawed, and urgently need an independent and thorough investigation. Observations on this include the following. The cheapest solution is not usually the best. There is a substantial risk of not delivering the financial benefits. The business case has failed to demonstrate any duplication in frontline services leading to savings. The business case takes no account of the transformation savings that have been realized in district councils. The reported finances of the county and district councils are outdated and in some cases misleading. The county's claims of financial stability need to be carefully scrutinized, including any hidden borrowing. Savings of chief executive salaries are claimed when these are less than those of county directors currently. Financial analysis appears to estimate cost from the county perspective rather than from the point of view of the council taxpayer. District and parish councils have had to step in and fund community services that have been cut by the county council. Will these be funded under the single unitary? No cost to the taxpayer has been taken into account when parishes take on responsibilities. £18.5 million per year saving, even if corroborated by scrutiny, would be less than the cost of poor delivery of social care, which is what has happened so far when delivered at a county scale. It has been stated that the single unitary will discontinue commercial investment to save vital services. It is unclear how this lost income will be made up. And finally, it is unclear whether the financial case relies on rises in council tax. Fourthly, the business case also claims to offer benefits that are not sufficiently evidenced. These also need an independent and thorough investigation. I now move on to any aspects of the business case that the council or the district executive does support. 3 points here. SSDC is open to the view that a unitary authority can provide a solution to the future of local government in Somerset, but not at this scale. However, the district council do not underestimate the challenge of a unitary delivering the best services to residents and communities, even at a smaller scale. Secondly, SSDC accepts that there are some services that should continue to be delivered at a county-wide or a regional combined authority level. Examples are transport, health, police liaison, regional strategies, waste partnership, home finder, and some back office functions, but not those working with and supporting communities. The discussion paper commissioned by SALC is worthy of further study. However, SSDC agrees in particular with the views expressed that, firstly, the burgeoning demand, particularly for children's and adult social services, will in any case soon dwarf any proposed savings. And secondly, from the SALC discussion note, I quote, "It is clear that the scale and complexity of Somerset's challenges are so great, they are unlikely to be effectively addressed from a unitary council which is too distant from recognising and responding to local concerns." So that is the verbal report, which on behalf of the executive, I'm recommending to the executive to take forward to District Council this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, John. I will take questions. I just want to add in just a couple of things. I think we need to make it clear that SSDC is not opposed to change. We accept that change has to happen. And I've been asked whether or not a summary of John's report, of this report, it's a working party report, will be made available to the public. Yes, a copy of our deliberations will actually go to the administrators so that all councillors because not all councillors are here this morning, but we will ensure that all councillors see a copy of that, or at least a summary of John's report.